Alright guys, I forgot to do video on this. Okay, this is the shroud underneath my hood on my truck. Okay, this right here is actually what's facing forward. Let me see if I can get around here. Okay, that will be the front of it right there. And there's a spot between the grill and my hood. It's just a flat piece of plastic right there. Okay, now they sell kits where you could put lights in there. It's a light kit. Or you can get a bug guard that has lights built into it. And I thought, well, I already have the button lights. Why don't I go ahead and do that? Because that's pretty much what I'm going to wind up with anyway. But this is a lot cheaper. And I've done the other lights on my truck and my trailer. So I went ahead and drilled these holes out. Now see, this is the part right here. If you look at this part right here, this is what you see because it covers the radiator right here. Okay, so when that's laying flat, see, there's my wire harness. I drilled the holes. I measured out for every spot where a light would be is 4. Okay, I wired them up. I put them on a plug. Okay, so I can unplug this if I ever have to take that off. And I am going to have to take that off because I'm putting a big light bar behind my grill. So I'm going to have to take this back off. So I wanted to make sure that I could just see if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, see? So you always put a plug on that. So any work that you do, it's got a weather seal plug and it won't corrode. And I always use shrink wrap and everything else to make sure everything stays dry and clean. I will show you the process when I go to put it back together. It's just reverse is all it is. These holes right here, they have body clips that just pop in and that's it. I mean, it just pops in. And when you take them off, you use a plastic tool. Let's see, I got some more. I got 2 in the garage up there. But these are plastic body tools, body clip tools, so you can pop your clips off. Okay, so they're easy to get to. I mean, if you're short, you'll need a little step stool or something. But other than that, it just pops out. I mean, that's simple. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I think, okay, the button lights come with a rubber bushing. Okay, and as you see here, I put epoxy there because there was not enough room for the rubber bushing. And I don't have to worry about anything leaking there anyway, so I wasn't worried about the rubber bushing. I figured I'll just epoxy it, leave it set overnight, and if I ever have trouble with one, I'll just take a razor blade and cut the epoxy free and pop the light out. It won't be that big of a deal. But tomorrow I plan on putting this back together because we're into hunting season and I've missed hunting now for a couple days and I want to get back out there. So I'll get this done in the morning, do a video and show you guys how I put it back together and how I wired it up. I'm just going to take it to my running lights like I did for my running boards and my front spoiler. Alright, see you tomorrow. Alright guys, I'm getting ready to install this. The clamps are off it now, so now you can kind of see what it looks like. And I wrapped all the wiring in the tubing. Hold on a minute, I got this all tangled up here. That don't go through there. There, see? And I zip tied it here. See if I can get you out more light. Alright, see the zip tie there? I don't know if you can see, I did a little hole right there just to suck that wire in there. And then I just put those together there and over here. The rest of this should just lay down in there. What I'm going to attempt to do with one hand. Well, let me see if I can get my camera lady to come out and help me. Alright, hold on a minute. Alright, you guys seen how I did this now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of set this here. I know these holes, the hood bumpers go in those holes right there. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to feed this through over here by the water bottle. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's an opening there. I'm going to feed that through there because it's going to hook up to my wiring harness on the other side of that. So pull through what I can pull through. I want it to ride in this guide right here. And then I'm going to try to set it down and see what it does. Up a little bit somewhere, oh, right there. Okay, now I just put my body pins in. Make sure I got nothing pinching. I don't know what this is right here. Yeah, let me pull a little bit more of that through. Everything looks like it's clearing. That one little spot right there. Okay, now I'm just going to take my push pins and I'm going to put them back in these holes right here. Maybe. I'll push those down in a second after I get them all. And to make sure the holes line up, because sometimes your plastic will move on you and then you can't push those down because there's not enough room in the hole, you know what I mean? Well, that one there closed on me. I'll get that in a second. There's another one else that closed. And another one. Maybe I'm squeezing them too tight in my hand. I think that's what's going on. Alright guys, let me get these popped back open and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I wanted to show you just to make sure you know how these come off. You take this tool, and you can buy these tools at any auto parts store. Put it underneath there, and then you pull it up. Now, if I can get a hold of it, see? Usually these clips on the bottom are holding it to the body. So you just go underneath there and pry up like this, and they'll pop right up. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, here's the last one. Right there. Push her down, she's all locked down. Now all I have to do is run this wiring. And right up here is my wiring that goes to all my running lights. So I'm going to go into this fuse box and I'm going to run a small wire out of there to this because I don't want this big bulky thing going into my breaker box. So I'll bring a small wire out right here. I'll put wrap coating around it, and then I'm going to put this down right over here on the side. So when anybody goes to take this off, they're going to see this is the wire they need. So I'll be back in a few minutes once I get that open, because I got to look to see if I have a jumper fuse. Okay guys, this is my ground. I got it wrapped, as you see, all the way up to the plug, and it will go back here on that ground. But I wanted you to see what I do here, because I don't like my wires exposed. Okay, like this. If I was just to put the shrink wrap and just the wire on it, then I got wires hanging everywhere. I rather it look factory by being wrapped in the plastic tubing like that there. Okay, so that's what I do. As you see my wires, it's going in there to the fuse box. It's wrapped all the way up to the fuse box. So, and it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not a professional job. I'm sure somebody out there will pick it apart and say I should have done this and should have done that. Because in everything anybody does, and I want you guys to remember this, you always have what we call haters. Even if a project turns out really good, they'll find something wrong with it. Okay, so don't worry about what other people say. If it's up to your standards and you're happy with it and you've done your best, that's all that matters. Alright, I'm going to get back to this and I will come back on and show you. I just want to get this, I want to get the positive wire cut to length that I need, because right now it's just a big bundle of wire, see? So I want to get it cut to length and get some tubing on it before I turn the camera back on, because I mean, you guys don't need to watch me put tubing on and cut a wire. I mean, you guys know how to do that, right? So, okay, let me get back. I'm just rambling. Bye. Okay, guys, I'm trying to get you down in that box so you can see. Do you see that little tab? It hooks around the leg of the fuse. It's called a fuse jumper. I'll show you one that's not hooked up to the truck, but I want to show you the ends. Now, you can get these ends that already have the shrink wrap on them. I didn't have any left, so I put shrink wrap over it myself. This way, when I plug it in, it's not, I know it's not going to touch another fuse and cause a problem. I mean, it wouldn't anyway, I don't think, but this is where I'm going to plug it in, is right there, and there's no way I can do it with one hand, so I have to shut the camera off. Alright guys, I'm going to see if I can get you in here. This is the wire that comes from underneath the front radiator cover, and it goes this way. It stops here. I took my ground over to that relay right there. Okay, and then into the fuse box right there. And you already seen the inside of the breaker box, and that I use those jumpers, and I wanted to show you those jumpers that I was talking about, because it was kind of hard to see in there. Okay, here is for the micro. Oop, I dropped it. See, they're just so tiny they're hard to hold on to. See if I can get one out here. Okay, here's one for the micro. If you look at this side of it, it's got a little bitty hole, and that's where the prong of the fuse goes through. And then on this side, the opposite side, is where you put your little push on, I don't know what they call it, male, female end. And of course I got one for the bigger ones. This is the bigger ones, see? So I try to keep those handy, because when I add something to the truck I want it to work out. But here it goes. I mean, look, there they are off. I'm going to give the camera to the camera lady so that I can turn the lights on for you. Ta-da! There you go. And now you see these lights, plus the ones underneath, and then down the side of the truck, and it all blends in with my trailer. But this is the new add-on that we just did today. Well, I started it last night, and then because I had to give these lights time to dry, because there's not enough room for the rubber grommets for these lights, so I just epoxied them in, and I figured if I ever had one go out, I would just take a razor blade and cut around it and put a new one in. But I'll take some pictures and videos tonight when it gets dark so you can see what it looks like in the dark. Alright guys, until then.